waste of time.
You've got your new head coach in Mark Richards. What can you tell us about him?
What I will say is that we interviewed 4 very good candidates, all of which I think could have done the job. Mark is a very intelligent young man. I think he's going to have a great future in the game. He is not only intelligent, he's an excellent coach. He can develop players, and we need to put a structure into our game, which I can't really see in the 2 or 3 games that I've seen, that we've got a real structure in it. And you know, I thought Gareth done a really good job down at Truro the other night when he cajoled the players and he's putting them in the positions, and we got back into a game that, you know, in all honesty, 3-0 down, we should have been out of sight. But you know, that's what we need to do, and we need to work hard on that training ground, and we need to increase their fitness levels and generally put a game plan in place to make us more organised, difficult to beat. And I don't think it, you know, doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out. We need some strikes and somebody up front that can actually hurt people.
What resources are you going to be given to get players in? I presume it's 1 in, 1 out.
No, not necessarily. I mean, I think that you know, we've got a big squad of players. You know, and you know, we've got, I think, including the young lads, something like 25, and you know, that's an awful lot at this level. And I think what we need to do is to whittle that squad down a little bit. And the boys have said to him today, they've got to fight for your places. You know, it's a new regime. What's going on's going on. But this level of football, if you're not ruthless, you're going to be punished, and that's exactly what's happened in the last few games.
And the injuries have certainly held Hereford back. What's the latest on Keon Raphael and the latest with Mike Simmons?
Well, Keon is going to have a CT scan on Thursday. You know, that's not a short-term fix. You know, I wouldn't like to put a timescale on it at this present moment in time, not until I've seen the results of the CT scan. So when we get that sorted out, then we can look at that. And Mike Salmons, he's probably about 4 weeks away, maybe a little bit longer. I mean, the difficulty you've got is when you've got injuries and you rush people back, the last thing you want is for them to break down. So we've got to look at that sensibly. But at the moment, we need some urgent attention to start winning football matches.
I suppose it's a positive distraction at the weekend, being an FA Cup tie. You can relax to a degree. Were you likely to make changes for Saturday?
Well, I think we've got to rally the troops. That's the first thing. We've got to pick their heads up off the floor, because, you know, they're not bad lads.
Because it'll be Mark's first training session on Thursday, I guess.
That's correct. As I said, they're not bad lads, but they've got to learn, and they're learning very quickly, and they're learning, you know, the hard way. And you know, it is going to take time, and I know people don't want to hear that, but if they're not prepared to do it, then we've got to get people in that can deal with this level of football, because it's you know, you've got to be on your mettle for 90 minutes, and as I said before, without going on, you can't keep conceding goals the way we're conceding goals, because you're not going to win football.